You are going to see these things arise out in the world, and you are going to have to go inside and ask yourself, where have I got my information from? Where do I get my information from? And how do I feel when I listen to my own thoughts? Sometimes you cannot believe your own thoughts because they are coming from a deeply indoctrinated propaganda program that has been residing within you for a long time. All of you have gone through, most of you have gone through your Western education system. This is a system that, for example, has quelled your free speech. It has conditioned you into compliance, to sitting down and shutting up. And it takes a lot to override that kind of conditioning program. When you are put in a school at 4 or 5 years old and you go through school for 12 or 15 years, and in that time, you are not allowed to question authority. You are not allowed to argue with the teacher. You have to sit down and shut up, move when the bell rings, put your hand up only is the only way you're allowed, that the authority figure has to give you permission to speak. You can begin to understand how difficult free speech actually is, how difficult freedom actually is. Most of you do not know what freedom is. You've never experienced it. You're codependently intertwined with people who have been conditioned in the same way that you have. And you are going to see some of these aspects of true free speech as offensive, as anger. But the truth of the matter is, most people need to learn to speak up, to be congruent, to align their thought, word, and deed. And most of you have not done it. And so this is why the rocky road of ascension is going to be a rocky road, because some of those beings who have been assigned the job to upset this apple cart of conditioning and propaganda are going to look like loose cannons. They're going to look like loose cannons. And we will tell you, Donald Trump is one of those who looks like a loose cannon, but indeed has the welfare of the average person foremost in his mind, despite his wealth, despite his history that may be portrayed as a wealthy man indulging himself. He has indeed put his life on the line to preserve the last place on earth where free speech is actually documented and supported. And we want you to know, those of you in Europe, we want you to know that this is something to be grateful for. However, some of his moves are not going to make sense to you because you do not know what he knows and you do not have his blueprint. Elon Musk is one of those beings who has an agenda behind what you are seeing. Some of you are confused. Is this man a good man or is this man a bad man who is in fact going to take over the world with all of his technology? The truth of the matter is he has in his blueprint this idea of freedom, this idea of humanity surviving. And so you are seeing through the lenses of some of your media systems and through the lenses of some of the beliefs that you hold, you are in fact seeing beings who have to be disruptors, who have to misbehave because the conditioning programs to sit down and be quiet and do as you're told have been so deeply indoctrinated into many, almost all, that is the only way that things are going to change. And so that is why it's going to be rocky. Not only is it going to be rocky because of the shifts and changes in the power structures and systems that you've been used to, but because those beings who are disrupting them will at times upset you and cause you to have to go inside and ask yourself why you are upset.